Hello, everybody. It's Saturday Night Pickup Live on a Sunday. uh, I apologize about that last night. We had a storm come in and it kind of wiped my internet, my bandwidth, right down to nothing. So had to postpone it on till today. But anyway, who we got all in here? We got Unfinished Project. Oh, good to see you, man. Twisted Mopar Garage. Good to see you, brother. And that was a good live you had last night with Brian over at Dust Devil. Auto Salvage Outlaws. What's going on, man? Thanks. Have no fear, the Dougsters here. Bruce Coltigan. I hope I didn't butcher your name there. If you find dove heads on a block, check the block, see if it's a dove. Yeah, the 70 below casting. If it is, 4-bolt possibly, 2-bolt, 4-bolts can be installed. Definitely a possibility there. Unfortunately, though, the block I got is a D1. And the dove block and farther down, they're the short deck ones too. I'd like to find one though. They're built for higher compression. As for the 4-bolt though, I'm not really too worried about it because I'm not going to be hitting that block that hard. This is pretty much just well, it's not an all-out race car is what I'm getting at. It's going to be more of a street car that I can take to the strip. But dang good advice you got there. Thanks. And thanks for stopping in. Mr. Stephen Holtz, good to see you, man. Rescued and Restored Garage. Good to see you, brother. Mr. Lars, good to see you, man. Hey, get a hold of me. Send me an email. Me and cousin Mike got a care package for you. I'm just waiting to get your address. It's in my about page, on my home page. My email address is there. Just pop me a quick one and I'll get some stuff out in the mail here for you guys. Love what you guys are doing. Wendy, what's going on? You keeping an eye on the one-eyed cat? Dive, dive, dive. And if you guys are interested in Ford stuff, the D1V stuff is pretty much the last year of Ford's performance stuff. Hardcore stock performance stuff. Ford kind of, they were ahead of the pack when it came to the stuff we don't want to talk about. The low horsepower smog years. Ford was the first one to go. And it started in 71, which is what D1V stand for, 71 castings. Or it started in 72, I should say. And that's a little Easter egg I left out in that video I did about those heads. If you find D2 and D1 and D2 heads, throw them in the back of the truck and take them to the recycling yard because that's the only place good for them heads. They're a wide open chamber. They got no quench pads in them. So they're absolutely horrible. And if you find some that aren't cracked already, it's a miracle. But that is a huge improvement. If you've got one of those that's got those nasty heads on it, find a set of heads like what I got, the D3s. If you just want good low-end torque, just a good daily driver, those D3s are actually pretty good for that. Anyway, get back to it here. Dadgum, I get onto a tangent here and I forget people like Mr. Ron English. What's going on, brother? Right back at you there, Mr. Lars. And there's the one-eyed cat with his brand new shiny logo that Tony's Hot Rod Garage designed up for him for his birthday. I dig that logo, man. Hey, there we go. We got royalty in the house again. What's going on, Blake? Blake and J-Bo from Bad Tree Productions. Heathens Unite. So we're just hanging out, enjoying the 4th of July weekend, and I got my link posted up there at the top somewheres. If y'all want to join in, just pop that in and come on in. I didn't this week. I tried, but yeah, time wasn't on my side. Sorry about that, Steven. I needed to, though. Son of a gun. But I'm pretty sure that one we were talking about is still back there because it's clear back in the corner and it's buried around a whole bunch of trucks. So unless you get back there and you see it, you won't see it. So far, not so good on my search for heads. But I got another plan. I've been talking to Ollie's Garage. Great guy. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, check him out. He's here on the internet. You only got a handful of videos. Otherwise, he'd be a mega channel. If you need any Ford advice, check out Ollie's Garage. OLY. Anyway, been talking to him about tip of my tongue, dynamic compression. Anyway, playing with the camshaft to trick that big block Ford into thinking it's got more compression than it does. And I think that might be the way I have to go. The time is clicking down, and well, even if I do find a pair of C8s or C9s or Doves, I'm going to have them worked on. You know, they're, especially in those years, that's before hardened valve seats. So I pretty much guarantee they're all going to be burnt. And I just don't have time to get them into a machine shop and have a good valve job put hardened seats in them and all that stuff. I called around to all 3 of my local machine shops, and they're out. They're a month to 2 months out on it. So I think I'm going to have to play with it on the camshaft side. Yeah, and that's where they shine. They're very much Hemi-esque. Hey, Mr. Buck.
How you doing? Hey, Mr. Tim Windsor, I'll take care of that for you.
And a power adder, the D1s and the D2s, they're not too bad. Because of that, they don't have a quench area. So that they're kind of like a Hemi head, but the spark plug's in the wrong spot. But naturally aspirated, oh yeah, they're an absolute dog. Honestly, a lot like a Hemi. You got to, because of that big open chamber. But good stuff, Bruce.
I'm in here looking for Ollie's link. I'll put Ollie's link up. I just have to.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, one heck of a nice guy. Ollie is just Wow.
I'm not as good as those other moderators.
Neither am I.
Those guys are fast. I'm only half fast. What's going on there, BareRose?
Oh, not too much.
I had everybody directed over to your live last night. And then I looked, it said July 2nd. I said, that ain't it. And then I tried to direct to Dust Devil, but he's, I guess I'm not, he doesn't have it set up.
Yeah, I did a couple of test hits last night, and yeah, it just kept locking up. So
Yeah.
I pulled the plug on it. Ever since they started cutting that road up through the mountains behind me, my internet has dropped way down, and then the storm come in on top of it.
Well, there's Ollie's link. So
how's the CRUDA coming, man?
it's coming. I was just out messing with the roof yesterday, and I was trying to get a raised spot out on it, right? And I made it worse. I had a hell of a time getting back out of it. And then when I did almost get back out of it, I ground a hole in the roof, so I had to weld the patch back in. So, and then I just said to myself, I said, man, what are you worried about? It's just a CRUDA. Put some paint over it and go. It needs a whole new roof skin. I mean, I think I'm sure LA Auto Works was right when he said that a tree fell on it, because you can see where the dents are. It looks like branches.
Something's come down and popped her pretty good.
Yeah, well, once I took all the Bondo off the roof, the roof actually came back into shape in most of the places.
And you're going about it the right way.
Well, I didn't expect to go that far. I only wanted to get down around where the windows were and then just leave that for a later date. But man, once I start scraping, and then there's loose stuff, and then I go farther. Next thing you know, I'm like 30-40% into it. I mean, well, might as well just do it. So that's what I ended up doing. So tomorrow I'll probably work on that. They took the brace out that was up underneath where the dome light goes, and that was dented in. So I want to curve that the other way, and that'll help keep the oil can effect from happening. Picking up on a Sunday.
Yep, Impromptu Live on a Sunday. Are you still going on after Sunday. Uncle Tony, Ari? I tried to squeeze this one in before all of you guys started in, so I didn't step on none of his toes.
Well, that's what if I do it on a Sunday, I do it like 5:00 Eastern time, because that way I'm done before all those other guys. But you know what I've learned is a lot of these guys go back and forth, and I'll do it myself. I'll have 2 different lives going at one time. Especially on a laptop, it's easy. You just open another tab.
Boy, ain't that true, Rescued Restored. Moving these things around when they're dead weight and the front tires are just kind of going like this, or there's no front axle under them. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of people come over and ask me if I'd sell that backhoe, and no way. That's the only thing I got that moves this dead weight around.
Yeah, I forget which channel I was watching. He says, but man, he says, I don't know what I'd do without my forklift.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
There's the Dougster. He had a story going on today. I didn't get to watch it.
Body work can be like an onion. Yeah. And all the experience I've had in it, it's like a rotten onion. Or a pig with lipstick, however you want to look at it. Once you wipe that lipstick off, yeah, it's pig again. Speaking of which, when I was at the resto shop, well, I was the grease guy. I did all the mechanical and stuff like that. Had very little body, very little body and fender and paint experience. And most of the work done in there is body work and paint. So I got the grunt jobs. So I was the sandblaster. And you sandblast a car, it's kind of interesting. Sometimes you'll be blasting along, and all of a sudden you'll hit a spot that goes away real quick, and you kind of wisp over it, and you'll actually see handprints in it.
Oh,
Sometimes all the way to the bare metal. So that was the guy in the factory that grabbed the bare metal fender with no primer, no nothing on it, and stuck it up on the rack. You can
oh.
see his actual handprint in it. Kind of cool.
Hi, Jason. Ron English, Rescue and Restored. The Dougster, never fear, the Dougster is here.
Yep, that's why I get so can relate so much to what you're doing there, Ari. Because yep, I was right there.
I never had the pleasure to work in a body shop, so I probably wouldn't have done it either because I don't like body work. But lately, I've been doing a lot.
And at that shop, Rex took most of the stuff into Performance Machine and had it totally rebuilt, totally gone through, right down to the dyno, so he could hand the customer the dyno sheet. You'd be surprised what people will pay for numbers. That little sheet of paper, boy. And 90% of the cars we did in there never see the road.
Why? Because they were garage queens.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a rescue and restored garages link too, just in case. He's close to 500. He said. Let me see where he's
Sweet,
at.
man.
426.
Just keep that content coming.
Well, that's closer to 500 than 126. Last year at this time I was only pushing 200. I wasn't even at 200 yet. Or July 4th, I think it was July 4th I hit 200.
And some of the most interesting things can be found in Bondo.
In Bondo. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. When I was scraping that Bondo off the roof of the Cruda, they had the roof uh, pop riveted down to that brace that goes for the dome light. So it was dipped down, and then they just filled it up. Yeah, instead of pushing up the brace, they pushed the roof down. There was a good half-inch of Bondo up and over in there.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, I guess they did it because they didn't want to take the headliner down to do it. I guess I don't know because that could have happened you know, way back in the '80s or early '80s. 429 subs now.
I've seen that a lot. They stuff holes with whatever they can find.
Oh yeah, well that last video I put out, I put a little clip in there of the screen door sticking out of the quarter panel. And the reason I know that is because I've done it.
Oh, Lord. I'm wondering 5, 10 years from now how
Yeah.
much of that we're gonna find. Because boy, that was like the number one thing on YouTube and TikTok and all of that. Holy cow!
I tried that stuff with my dashboard, but it just didn't. I didn't like it. But that dashboard's already starting to crack again.
Is it?
Yeah, I figured that because it's that bad. I had to cut it with a die grinder because if I tried a knife, it just crumbled. Hey, there's BRG is in the house. Hello, Chris.
Rusted Radio Garage. What's
Yeah,
going on, man?
he was trying to talk me into a 340 last night. He
You're
almost
putting
has
a
me.
440 in it, right?
Yeah, well, that's what was in it, and that's what I'd like in it. But
I do have to say, of all Chrysler engines, the 340 is my favorite.
is it? Well, everybody wants one, and ever since he mentioned that, it's been twirling around up in there.
383 is next.
I Well, another reason why is my brother had that 70 Cuda with a 440 6 pack. Back when I was a kid, I was only like 13. Took me for a ride in it. The whole floor rumbled.
Punisher Le Mans. What's going on, man?
Hey Ray, what do you say? Busted says he knows the 340 belongs in that car. I said to him, I said, yeah, they make a hockey stick stripe with the 340 on it too.
Obviously, you haven't taken a peek at my backyard. Yeah, and that's a bad thing too, because honestly, body fillers got its place,
Yeah, I mean, just
but
for
it's the
like,
ones that go overboard and misuse it. And yeah, it gives it a heck of a bad name.
listening, making dinner. Yeah, but I'm no hammer and dolly expert either, so I can only get it so far, you
Oh
know.
heavens, no!
And I just put that the passenger side. I actually got the moldings and stuff back on, and I put a skim coat up there, and I sanded it down. And it come out nice, but it doesn't have. It's not a whole thick piece of bondo in there. Now where I screwed the roof up, it got a little thick, probably about an 1/8 inch, 3/16 of an inch thick there. But oh well.
You're doing a dang good job welding her in like that too.
I'm getting better at it. It took how many pounds of? I think I'm on my third tank of gas now, and I don't know how many pounds of wire. And I couldn't tell you how many times I've burned through. And well,
What size bottle you got?
just the medium size, not the small, like the one in between the tall and the very small. I don't know what size you would call it. I
That's
know
what
it's like
size
50,
I run.
it's like $50 or something to fill it.
Yeah.
50, 60. I don't know what else because I always end up. It's eye candy when I go in that store, so I always grab something. I'm like one of them little kids with their mom. I get, Mom, I want this, I want that.
Yeah, the next thing I got to get from there is one of those magnetic ground leads,
Yeah,
and then
I
take that
saw,
alligator off.
I saw them. Yeah, Ron English says it. I'm a grinder. I'm not a welder. But I tested a bunch of welds out and I ground them right down, and And if you look on the back side, it looks like I welded it real smooth on the back side. So I'm getting good penetration. There's Twisted Mopar with 245 subscribers. I think you lost one overnight. Let me put his link up in there.
Loaded up in Michigan box in April and sprayed it. Cheap color, daily driver till about October and November when the Bondo falls out. Will he do it? And bet he don't. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I say that to a guy at work all the time. We call him Will, and he said, "Will he make it? Make it through the day?"
My speeding granny had a 60-something Plymouth Satellite with a 383 4-barrel. Was a thrill to go through town with Grandma for sure. My grandma had a Coronet. I think it was a 68, 69. Or no, I think it was a 440. Great big, huge 4-door, ugly burnt green color. It was green on green. Same thing. Yeah. My grandma knew one speed and, well, two speeds, all the way and all the way stop. That was it. There's no in between.
There's Ollie's link again too.
Oh, thanks, Busted. That was some of them. Sweet, Don. I have to check it out once this is over.
The Dawn.
Next weekend is Mopar race at Gateway. Around here, all we got is one little itty bitty track left, little 8th-mile track. But they never ever advertise it. If you don't know that track is out there, yeah, you would never know it was out there. But they run just about anything. Well, if they limited it to one type of car, you'd probably see one car. They run out on the lava beds.
Oh, really? There's the one-eyed cat's link there from Rescue. I think he's looking for his link.
Last I heard, he's got it up for sale too. My wife's friend's mom drove a black 70 Chrysler 300 with a 446. Woo! She bought it from the service manager at the local Chrysler garage.
Wow. I didn't know they had a 446 back in a Chrysler 300. That makes me like them even more. I like the 70 Chrysler 300s too. The 60, 61s are pretty neat.
That track's about 20 minutes away. I've only been out there once though.
Lakes Auto Diagnostics.
We had the Memphis Street Outlaws come there once. I think that was the only time that place sold out.
When you were
It's
there.
sad because if he would advertise, he'd get a lot more, involvement going out there. A dealer option, a backdoor dealer option. That 28 Willys that we got, uh, the reason it's in such good shape is because that was Ron Sayer's car. He owns Ron Sayer dealerships around here. He passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. And he was also the wheelies dealer. And he bought that car and just stuck it in his garage and it never seen daylight.
I gotta check that Lakes Automotive Diagnostics out. I put their link up there.
Cool.
Guys.
I can't wait to see it, man. Thanks, Willie. Nope, they're all drivers. We haven't built something for the track. Actually, the last one we built for the track wasn't even ours. My dad has always been the pit man. So we've been involved with other people, but the car belonged to them. But all of those, they're set up to roll the freeway with.
Well, that's cool. You know, it's not a dedicated. I was watching Dust Devil last night where they were talking about a dedicated race car rather than a street machine.
Out of all of them, I would have to say the little Volkswagen is actually the fastest, though. Boy,
Really?
that thing is snappy quick.
There's Twisted's link. There's speak of Dust Devil, and he shows up. How bad was the storm?
The storm here,
Yeah.
not much water, not much rain, but the wind was horrible.
Yeah.
Lightning. I was expecting a lot of fires.
We were supposed to get some nasty weather today, but sort of went around us. Yeah. I only got a little bit of rain. I was just out there. It was like soup out there. It was because it rained and then the sun came out. The V Dub was my favorite. I didn't get to watch that video. Have to learn proper names. Yeah, Ron, I'm Buck, by the way. Or Mark. Mark. But they call me Buck. I'm like a spot on the wall. A mark.
Yeah, that little bug, man, it's like a go-kart with a small block Chevy in it. Oof.
What engine is in that one?
Just a pretty much bone stock Chevy 350.
Okay. It probably has some good gear in it then.
Turbo 350. It's a 74 though, not a 73. I misspoke in the video. Last year of the flat windshield, last year of the pretty much bug.
Buck and the Buckaroos.
But there is not a lot of Volkswagen there. It's just a shell. Just enough to title it. But she rolls the interstate at 80. She's tacking about 25.
Oh, that isn't too bad.
That's why they're all. If you took them to the drag strip, yeah, they wouldn't do. They wouldn't do too good.
Not unless the other guy had red lights.
Go up against Ricky.
Yeah, I was going to say you might want to race Jerry. Ricky, you might have a chance.
I'd have to ask Dad again what that one weighed out. That one is a heavy, 100 pounds heavier in the rear. I think at 2,600 pounds. Sir Rat is 3,200 and it's 400 pounds heavier in the back. And that's all axle weight and wheel weight on that one. That's the dually rat rod one. Same thing with it. It rolls the freeway at 80 with that C6 at about 26, 25, 2,600 RPM.
Well,
The 39, good Lord, it's got a 700 R4 in it.
one like JB's.
Yeah. Full size one. It just sips the fuel as it's going. That's the one I started my channel with, the 4-hour build series. But then I got about halfway through with it all, and then Dad got home from the hospital, and he was able to work on it more himself, and I got involved in cleaning this property up, so I had to take a break for a while. And every time I'd go over there to work on it, I forgot my camera.
Well, what's the difference? You forget the camera or forget to turn it on.
And there's a lot of footage on GoPro on it, and I can't get it to download. It's an early GoPro though, like Hero 4, Hero 3 or something like that.
Huh? Was it on an SD card?
Yeah, but it formatted there's a problem in the formatting.
Oh, okay.
Keeps coming up corrupt files and
Oh my,
yeah.
that stinks. because I know myself. I usually use the GoPro app or whatever it is. Excuse me. And then that takes it off the card. But if I want to, I could just go right in and take it without going through the app.
I love the video quality of GoPro. Boy, they are just crisp.
Yes, hey, there's a World of Wood Chip. Uncle Buck. That's right. That's what my nephew calls me. I call him up and say, "Hey, what's up, Uncle Buck?" And yeah, I like the GoPro too. The only thing I don't like about it is there's no place for an external mic. And
Yeah,
I'd like to do an external mic because there's a lot of places where I wish you could hear me better. And a couple people mentioned it too. Must
I've
agree.
been looking at the Canon GS35s.
Oh yeah.
Their prices are starting to come way down on eBay.
Oh, eBay.
But they've got the internal gimbal, like just like a GoPro. But they got the external mic jack on them.
What did you say? GS35, GS350 maybe.
Is that what they are?
I don't know. I'm looking here now. Oh, Lexus GS350. Oh, that's a car. But they have a Canon GS7X.
7X.
Yeah, point and shoot. That's a point and shoot camera.
I've got a Rebel. It's like a regular camera,
Hmm.
and it does really good too. But it's complicated. It's overly complicated.
Yeah, well, that's one good thing about the GoPro. It's pretty simple to operate.
Yeah,
I mean, I had to Google what settings to set it at, um, but once I did that, it stayed there. It's boom, boom, boom.
I have a hard enough time remembering just to hit the red button, let
Yeah.
alone okay, do this, do this, do this.
And then the other day, I went to shut it off and go do a couple things, and then I'm watching the the clips, right? And I'm like, what was I doing here? I thought I shut it off. And I heard the click too. It clicked, but it didn't hit all the way. So I guess it's getting wore out. I just don't feel like spending $350 for another one or 400.
Hey
But
Sam, good to see you, man.
oh, there's Sam. Hey, Sam.
Did you get it to fire up? I seen on that last live of yours, you run into little troubles. The live curse got you.
Did it? I missed that one. 63 Saratoga 300.
If you were to run a fuel cooler, that's something I've never done. Would you have the fuel cooler run to regulator where it will return some cold fuel back to the tank, or hmm.
Yeah, that's
So
probably
you're
what I.
you're talking from to a manual pump then. Hmm. It should be cold coming all the way up. I don't know. Got me on that one. I would say from the manual pump up because that's where the heat is generated from. Hey, Jason, power's flickering. Oh no. I would love to go solar on this place. Not for 100%, but it'd be sure nice to get a supplemental because Rocky Mountain Power here is pretty spendy. It's a division of Pacific Power, same company in LA. Got it running and bent a valve. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry.
He was twisting it.
6.8 on a bare road though. Whew. You're bringing the heat to the No Name Nationals this year.
He last year.
Saratogas?
Saratoga. 63 Saratoga. That looks like a Chrysler 300.
I don't remember those. Are they a Canadian only?
Yeah, with the Canadian Saratoga using. That's what it says here.
Old hot rodders would make a funnel to blow cold air directly into the mechanical fuel pumps.
I told you Sam had it twisted. 7,200.
That's what the old wood clothespins do. The wood pulls the heat out of it. Boy, I remember some of them. Boy, it's clothespin upon clothespin upon clothespin all the way up.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
7,200 RPM valve float. Chevys have always had the problem with that. Heck, the old saying was you didn't need a rev limiter in those little 327 small journals. You just take them all the way up to valve float. I don't recommend that. It's just a saying. Had a possible tornado touchdown about 20 miles south. Dang.
That's probably 50 miles northwest of me.
Hey, Doc, we got a Doc in the house. What's going on, man?
Is there a Doc in the house? I haven't seen Doc in so long.
Boy,
Dr.
that
Odd?
go kart sure sounds good. Hey, Jay, what's going on? Irish Outlaws Garage.
Hello, Jay. Did you see you had the ambulance out? Ambrose driving the ambulance?
Hey, Stephen Paul.
You tilt her head. Really? I've seen that. I was only a kid when they did that. A whole bunch of um, pepper and throw an egg in there. Stop the leak.
You guys got him up there too, huh? You're up close to Edmonton, right, Chop Cat?
I think Sam had a tornado in his engine.
Huh.
Hey, Tim, happy birthday, granddaughter.
10th birthday party, huh?
She's double digits now.
Good to see you, man. Ain't that the truth right there?
Yeah. Did you just say that with the 327?
Right about there. I know they pulled the heat out because the heat's all generated off of the pump.
Yeah, and the fuel just starts boiling in there, and
Yeah.
it causes an air pocket. They call it vapor lock.
The fan actually kind of helps it as it's blowing across the steel line that comes up across there. That's actually kind of helping. But with the ethanol now, yeah, it lowers the boiling point. Of course, we have fought that vapor lock issue for decades.
Yeah, I've seen that, and aluminum foil wrapped around it, and then aluminum foil and clothespins.
Uh huh. The best trick I found was actually the stock one, though. You buy a fuel pump for a car or a truck that comes with AC. And they've already got the third nipple on them for the bypass, and then you run that back to the tank.
Oh,
Or vans. All van applications have got that. But I'll tell you what, trying to buy a new one, good Lord, you can find hundreds and hundreds of the two nipple fuel pumps, but try to find one with the third. or what is it, a 70, well, pretty much any of the 70s Ford F-Series fuel filters. They've got the orifice nipple on them, return. And Chrysler did it too.
I remember those, Phil. I always wondered what that was about. I never did follow where that hose went.
Been watching the big foot brake race out at Bristol. I so wanted to be there this year, just couldn't get everything together to go. NASCAR wise, that's my favorite track, the Salad Bowl. I always wanted to go to Bristol for that. I'm not into NASCAR at all anymore, but I'd still go to that track.
The only other one I wanted to go to was Talladega.
Talladega.
Yeah, I've been to. I guess I've only been to two other ones. Pocono, which is close to me, and the track too tough to tame, Darlington. I rode my motorcycle around Pocono Raceway.
Pocono. The
Yeah,
Triangle.
yeah, yep. There's Harley dealership, Pocono Harley Davidson, and they let them. They have a benefit for them for something or other up there, and then the track lets them take some motorcycles around the track.
Around here, you see that when
Still there, Chris?
either when cars have built up carbon in the exhaust crossover, or guys that block that off, you'd see them ice up around there. It's kind of funny back in the sand rail days, you really see it on a Volkswagen because they're, on a sand rail. If you're following a VW powered sand rail, you see it all out there. And they go into the shadow of a dune and be running a bowl, and you're right behind them, and you could actually see the ice start up the carburetor and go down. And you see out the stinger, the exhaust, they start huffing, and they, and then they come down and they get into the sunlight, and then start picking up again, and the ice would just go away.
Got up too early today.
Because the air coming out of the bottom of that atomized air coming from the bottom of your carburetor, that stuff is cold.
Yeah, just stuff your hand in a tub of gas for a while. That's some cold stuff. That was years ago before I was able to afford carb cleaner. Siphon some gas out and use that for cleaner.
I think it's got a lot to do too with our altitude and the temperature. You'd see that in the early spring or early fall, late spring.
Yes, Ron.
But boy, out there on the sand dunes, that was the best time to go out there because that sand is like concrete.
Or early in the morning.
Oh Lord, yeah. It's good disinfectant too. Whoa, tells you right where you got every little cut.
It magically finds it too.
Yep.
Man, I didn't even know I had that cut.
And those dadgum gloves. Oh man, I swear I go through 2 or 3 dozen of them on one job. Always
Oh, is
split right there.
that where they split on you? Yeah. Well, I used every now and then I would get I'd go to Dollar Tree or
Uh
Dollar
huh.
Store and get those rubber gloves for scrubbing, like in the kitchen and stuff. The yellow ones, uh, they work pretty good because and they're long too. They'll come up to here, and they last a while as long as you don't abuse them like myself. But those rubber and are they nylon gloves or
Nitrate.
vinyl gloves? Man, those I used the hell out of those, especially with the bondo and the fiberglass and all that stuff. It makes life so much easier. Story of an Impala. I had a '69 Impala with a 327. I had to get rid of it because I couldn't stand the exhaust fumes inside anymore. It was terrible, terrible.
Exhaust rusted clear off of it, or
No, it there was just that many holes in the quarter and the trunk, and it just it was terrible.
the
I actually
evaporated liquid from the
gave it to
front
some.
gives you a chill effect at the carb. No, it's just uh, the atomized fuel. As it goes through the air and atomizes, it does that. The evaporated liquid in the fuel line coming up to it, that'll vapor lock it. I think I read that right.
My first car was a '67 Impala or Chevelle, '67 Chevelle 283, and
Kind of
that
like a
283.
propane tank. When you open a propane tank or you light your propane handheld torch and you're holding the bottle, it gets cold. Same principle as what your carburetor's doing on the downside. That's why they put that exhaust crossover in there to warm it up. On an inline engine, you got to have that. You got to pump heat into your intake, or they'll ice up on a sunny day.
Oh, so is that why they connect the exhaust to the intake
Yeah,
on a six cylinder? Okay.
because on an inline, you don't get any residual heat. On a V8, it sits in the valley, so you still can get enough to get it just warm, is all it has to be.
I remember when I worked at the Dodge dealer back in 1981, I think it was. I don't know how many 318s they tore apart just to clean the gunk out for the heat riser,
Uh
the
huh.
carburetor. They used to just block up. So it was an intake. You take the intake off, clean everything up, and put it all back together, and it was good to go. The choke would would stay on all the time because it didn't get no heat to shut off.
My dad's got a drawer of those thermal springs for your exhaust dampener,
Mm-hmm.
so you can actually tune it.
Well, the
Because if
exhaust
that
dampers,
hangs, oh, it'll plug that crossover over tight, or it'll get too hot and it'll vapor lock.
okay, so that's what they use those for, is to block that one side and force it up in through the intake. See you later, Dougster. The Dougster is out.
Catch you later, Doug.
Parasine, Paragine. I forget how you pronounce that one.
Kinda. It's the gas change, the liquid changing to vapor, the flash. And in a propane tank, it's kind of a bad example because it's using pressure to do it. So, yeah, it is kind of right, but
I think those 62 Impalas just got popular recently. I know myself. I was just talking about them today, and how I used to think they were ugliest thing on earth, and now I think they're just cool looking.
boy, you Canadians get all the neat stuff. 70 par how do you say that?
I think it's
Paracene?
Parasine. I don't think it's Parasini. Parasine. Yeah. There's an accent on there or something. Oh, what was that other Impala? I had a 75 Impala. Um, my old boss used to call it the Red Roof Inn because it was red. It's huge. It was huge. Parascent. Parascent. It's a fruit tree.
62 Impala? Those are the hot years.
Parazian. Yeah. Yeah, 62 is a 1 year only car. Okay.
That whole body style up until, all the square bubble top body style Impalas. Yeah. I've seen rusted out, trashed ones going for high dollar, even here. And then the King of Kings, the 59, the teardrops. Good Lord, do you see one of them? And they look like a El Camino, the trunk on them so dang long.
Yeah, 62 was when it changed. The 62 looks like 63, sort of. Bubble topper 61 only. There you go.
I remember seeing those on the racetrack years ago. I used to call them the wind up ones because when they'd take off, the whole car would just. We had one at the track. Every time he'd do it, the passenger door would pop open.
Oh, really?
Because of that hourglass frame that they got.
I got you.
Parisian. Parisian. Sounds like you got to be in Montreal to say that right. When I was, oh, good Lord, just, I was just starting to get my front teeth in. And we had a dune cycle, those old 70s three wheelers. You sit down inside of them, and the big, you know, well, they're not big, but regular, like three-wheeler tires, four-wheeler tires, sat right behind you. The motor sat behind you, and you was in like a little racing seat and had a little tire about yay big, kind of chopper style, that sat out in front of you. Those were the old original three-wheelers. We had one, and Dad opened up the gate of the pasture, and he told me, get on it and just pull it in. Okay, so I jumped on it, and I gave that sucker full throttle. And I got the real good look at a 61 Chevy Impala. Smacked that rear end of that car. Oh, dead straight. Come up and took a big old bite out of the handlebar. Knocked all my front teeth out.
Oh, wow.
That was a good learning experience. So now, whenever I'm teaching somebody how to do that, first thing I show them is where the brakes are. Sneak out his dad's 62.
There's Cousin Mike.
Bubble top was 61 only.
Well, no, I just looked. There was a bubble top 62, but
Was there?
like, yeah, that's what Rescue says. Not in Impala Land, but they do call it a bubble top. It's just a base model. It looks like the 62.
Yeah, and 65. 66 was even more. That's when they started to sleek them out. And I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't really care for the 66. 65, 64. Same with the Chevelles, too.
I like the 58 Impalas too. They were only 1 year too. I was saying that today, but I like a lot of cars.
The 62 Volkswagen Beetle was a one-off, too. You don't really see it, but the hood for a 62 Beetle only fits that year. Just got done changing water, huh? I have a blue 61 Impala bubble top here, base model with a 235/6 and a Power Glide. Not mine. I'm babysitting it. Unaltered and untouched. 30K. Wow.
Yeah.
235 and a power glide, huh? You can stomp it to the floor, get out, walk around it twice, get back in it, and it might get rolling.
Oh, you can always catch it in gear too. 72 film. I like a 70s film more than a one or two.
That's like that Corvette that came into Ari's shop with the that would have been her 235 straight six with the power glide.
Hot rod.
Like I was telling you, boy, that is a rare one. Everyone I've ever seen had it was 3-speed then.
Yeah, imagine that way back then. There was no automatic transmissions. I mean, back farther than that. I mean, back in the 30s and 40s, everything was stick shift. When
They
did
started
automatics first come out?
51 was first year for Studebaker.
Oh, really? 51.
Oldsmobile, I think, was 50. I think it was 50 for Oldsmobile. Chrysler had that weird one. It was a standard transmission with a torque converter.
Right. My neighbor had a 53 Dodge Coronet, I think it was, with one of those in it. Or what was that other, the Cranberry or something like that, or whatever it
Cranbrook.
was. Cranbrook, I forget. It was one of those. But that had it. You had to pull out with the clutch, and then it would
Uh-huh.
shift automatically.
Weird.
Basically, yeah. I think he's hinting at you to make him a mod.
I think I need to make you a mod, Tim.
Yeah, I think you should too.
Thought I did.
Yeah, Tim Windsor's an awesome mod, and so is Rich GT350 and Unfinished Project. He's another one. And Dean's been hitting it pretty good too. Oh my God! Look who it is.
Hey, JV. Try that, Tim. I
Maybe.
think I just made you a mod.
Yes, he's got the wrench.
You got
Sup,
a
bro?
wrench? There you
He's
go.
got a wrench. Tim's got the wrench.
Sharpen it up. I ain't got a Nightbot, so you're safe.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought about doing that, but I don't know. Let's see
65
how
is a new
everybody else.
transition year. Last year for the 409. First year of the 396. Oh, I love the 396. That's got a sweet spot for me. And a Turbo 400. That's when they started getting good. Also, the first year for the Caprice. My godfather had a 66 Caprice SS with the 396 in it.
Oh, they're beautiful cars. Those
Oh,
66
yeah.
Caprice, 67
The
Caprice.
angle on the back window just made that car perfect. It was like a Chevelle that was done right.
But they had all the right trim on it too. It was just neat. I like the Caprice, just in those years anyway. But that '74 Impala or that Caprice I had was Impala Caprice, whatever you want to call it. That thing was a boat. There's cousin Mike's link.
The bad thing about those early 396s, though, is they like to spit push rods. You can get them up on RPM and uh, old James, he was always spitting push rods. He drove that car hard. Had limited slip rear end in it, 411. He took us all. Well, it was his son's birthday, and he had a birthday party for him, and we was all there, a bunch of kids, and he took us to the movie theater. Coming home in that car, everybody in the back was, goading him. How fast does this go? How fast does this go? And he dropped her down and let her go. Holy cow! That car came alive.
Yeah, I was just thinking about my brother had a '65 Impala SS, right? Convertible, red with a white interior, and it had that 327 special high performance engine or something in it. It had all the letters behind it. 4-speed yet too. That was a cool car. I wish he would have kept that one. FRG's in the house.
Yeah, as soon as they went to that perimeter frame, that straightened them out, and they didn't do that war wind up anymore. And they got bigger, they got wider.
AFRG. What's I don't get that. Dinner's ready. Grab a plate. We're all still waiting for the nanner pudding and the peach cobbler. Oh, Blake.
A legit 402? I know somebody that's got a couple of them.
Yeah.
He likes them so much, he named himself after them.
Yeah, he has one of these too. I don't think that block was any good after that, was it?
No, it ate the block. I think.
Crossing the streams. Yeah, crossing the streams. Hi, John.
What the buck, huh?
What the buck? That's what I thought when I signed in. What the buck? I might as well go say hi to BareRose. I don't usually uh, get to get on your lives much because I'm so tired after mine. I lay down for a little bit and I'm out. But I didn't have no overtime this weekend or last weekend. Not to kick it in high gear here soon.
What is a 402 is a 30 over 396 from the factory?
I think that's what it is. I know it has something to do with the 396, but I would think that's what it would be, right? Because a 30 over 350 is 355.
Yeah.
So 396 and 5 would be 401, but it might be a little bigger because of the cubic inches. So yeah, 402.
And somebody was telling me in the pickups, if it said 402, it actually was a 396. It was just they threw the tag on it.
Oh. Yeah, it's 30 or more.
But that I can't tell you for sure, not or what.
Yeah, I'm not good at that stuff.
That was something I read on a forum, so you know it's true, right?
Well, if you read it on 3 different forums, it might be. Right?
Yeah, 30 over. And they did it from the factory, so. The 400. I had one of them.
Yeah, they probably screwed up a bunch of 396s, so they had to bore them. They end up with a 402.
Trying to think. Actually, we haven't messed with a whole lot of big block Chevys. Lots of small blocks. Lots and lots of small blocks.
Yeah, the only time I ever messed with first time I messed with big block Chevys was the monster trucks, because the one had Chevy, he had a 496 in that one, and then the Ford had a 572, and then it was supposed to have been a 428 Cobra Jet, but it wasn't. It was just a regular 390 engine. And we took that out and we put a crate motor 460 in the ride truck, which made life so much easier.
Aren't FEs fun?
Yes. Well, another thing with the crate motor, it was just put it in, put a starter and stuff on it, and go. You didn't have to do anything. Take it out of the crate and stick it in.
If the 70s never would have gone the way the 70s would have, the 385 big block Ford series, it really would have been something. But it came out right as everything got neutered.
Yeah. It's like somebody didn't like it, so they changed the world for it.
It was slated to go clear to 521 cubic inch. That's why you can stroke them like that without any machine work. But the 70s happened. They pulled them out of all cars and anything performance. And it went strictly torque. .427 6-cylinder? Woo! What is it?
Yeah, I was going to say. Maybe he's talking about one of them airplane engines.
The biggest 6-cylinder I've seen is that 305 GMC.
He had a
Yep.
702 and a GMC. Yep. What's his name has one? Wayland.
That is one cool rat rod.
Yeah. What's his channel's name? Wayland's Iron something.
Yeah, Wayland's Iron.
Yeah, he's a fun guy too. He's pretty cool. I haven't seen him for a
Thanks,
while.
Tim. You're doing a great job, man.
Wayland's wire, old iron. That's it.
A Continental.
Continental.
Wayland's Wires Old Iron. Yeah. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. And I totally dig his junk art too. Builds sculptures and stuff out of
Oh yeah.
junk.
And he plays the guitar.
Mr. Lars was in here earlier.
Was he? He's part of the goggle gang. Them goggles he has kills me. Just so funny.
That last video you did, JV, on diamonds, that's a good video. Biggest beef 6 I've worked on was a 467. I think it was that B size. It was in an old dump truck for a heavy duty construction company. He was 20 years old, huh? Was that the diesel? Yeah, no problem, JB. That sharpening stuff is actually fascinating.
There's Lars' link if you want to see some nonsense.
Good channel and good guy.
Hey, Mohawk snuck in here. Hello, Mohawk. Go find me a pair of goggles. Yeah, I was looking for a pair of goggles because you know where that came from. I was putting the windshield in the box or in the Cruda, and unfinished project. He says, "Oh man, I thought I was going to see you drive that down the road with a set of goggles." Next thing you know, Lars has a video out driving down the road with a set of goggles on.
Years ago, I picked up a case of these. They're actually for bow hunting,
Mm-hmm.
but they're safety glasses and they're polarized, but they're
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. I got a couple of those. I think it was I don't know if it was Tractor Supply or Harbor Freight. One of them they were polarized. Because when I ride motorcycle, I always wear safety glasses. I don't
Uh-huh.
wear sunglasses because I've got hit with a bunch of different things.
Oh,
And
good Lord, yeah.
I get hit with a piece of crocodile part, a piece of truck tire one time. Almost took
Oof.
it out of me, man. It hit me right here in the chest.
Oh,
My brother got hit with a bird right between the eyes. He had to pull over because
a
there was that much
bird?
blood he couldn't see. Yeah, a bird flew right in the middle of it flew right into his face. And those
I've had a
bumblebees,
grasshopper about knock me off the bike.
yeah, with them bumblebees, grasshoppers, yes.
Twin six. Okay. Yeah, industrial stuff. You get into all kinds of weird things. Ground pounders, huh?
I didn't know those because I saw Wayland painted his valve covers plaid, or maybe that's why he got them that way, because he has plaid valve covers on his. I didn't know that came from the factory that way.
I remember watching that. I can't remember what it was he got it off of.
It was like an industrial pump or something like that.
Yeah, it
I
was a
think it was a pump.
stationary.
Yeah, it was. It was not. I don't know. I think it was some kind of pump.
Because that's what he does. He works the apple orchards out there in Washington.
Right. Yes. So that would make sense.
That Hemi that he's doing, he, it was up on top of it was a frost motor for, it's got like a big windmill. And when it get cold at night, they kick on and keep the apples from freezing.
Thanks, okay. So, so the ones Wayland has are factory.
He's the
That's
one
right.
that gave me the idea of finding an old car front end, something, and then cutting it and mounting it above my man door in my shop,
Yeah.
using it for an awning. He's got them up over his windows.
Yeah. A guy at one garage where I used to work near where I used to work. He had uh, the front end of a Volkswagen up there for his awning. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. This from the windshield front.
Yeah,
But he had the wheels and everything up there. It's pretty cool.
wear my safety glasses all the time. The cheaters are the main reason. They're on me every time.
What's that? Tomorrow we're getting high speed fiber to the house. So expect even less lives in videos. I thought he was going to say more lives in videos.
I need to do that. They just ran fiber optic all the way down.
Yeah, they ran the piping for it, but they haven't brought it down through yet.
They need to give me a discount because I have to mow around that damn box now. Their junction boxes right out front here. A 75? Not a 75, but a 72 and a 77.
Well, 77 should be close to the 75. What do you think?
The 77 I know of, I think he wanted 10 for it. It's actually very low miles and it's pristine.
It has to be a 75.
My old parts house owner, Vern Anthony, used to own it. He bought it brand new, and boy, he took real good care of that. Used it for his parts runner to run down to uh, the city just below us.
Like the star, I thought it was like the Starsky and Hutch car. Oh, same year my wife was born. Okay. I thought about doing the same thing. Getting a 61 something. I'd like a 61 Studebaker Hawk though. I think they're cool. 61 bubble top. 61 Chrysler 300.
I've
61
been thinking about doing the same thing, first responder. If nothing else, the camera's always rolling. All I got to do is just pull the footage and do a voiceover on it if I forget to hit that damn red button.
That ain't a bad idea. I do have some security cameras in the garage. I never even look at them. I could probably get some video out of them. I have one on top of the rat rod wagon hanging on the ceiling.
Oh, cool. $2,500 for both? Well, I got the link up there if anybody else wants to come on in.
Yeah, come on in. I'm going to be jumping off here soon.
Yeah, I'll probably, let's see,
It's almost
probably
2
about another
hours.
15 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes.
I was just going to say that Mohawk's been climbing up the ladder pretty good. Well, he's putting videos out. You know, you can tell that people climbing. Oh,
Has to be a 75 so I can jump in the wife's daily, huh?
Ed TV.
But yeah, I think that's my next investment. Is probably going to be that. There's so many times I get busy and I just forget to film it. I had a really good short. Uh, I set my phone up and I laid it down on the blast cabinet. And then as I was blasting all that black off that tunnel ram, I blasted it and I left a thanks for the sub. And I did it in a time lapse. So it's going and it looks like thanks for subbing comes out. You know, it just kind of magically appears out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll work. Then I picked my phone up and it filmed it this way. When I
Oh,
set it down, it shifted. I forgot the auto rotate was on.
oh.
So I couldn't use it for a short.
You still can, but it'll cut the edges off.
Yeah. And then it probably won't do very good on the short feed.
Or you could put it into an editor and turn it 90 degrees.
I'm working on that right now.
Yeah,
That's why it hasn't come out yet. Y'all got the teaser
yeah.
spoiler on that.
I've done that too. You take the video and take it to my editor, but I never really had luck making a short on a computer. It seems to just put it out as a long form.
I figured if nothing else, that's what I'll do. I'll just put some music to it and let it go. So far, Chris Hagen hasn't wanted money for his, so I got to get with New Guy's Garage, New Guy's Guitar.
Yeah, he has some good music, man. But I don't know how you go about that. What do you do? Just download his video and then just use the sound from it?
I'm not sure. You
I
get
keep
with New Guy's Garage, and he sends you uh, an audio clip or something.
no. I think you could just take his video and use the sound from it.
Probably a zip file or something.
Well, maybe you can get it that way too. But I thought you could just get his video that he puts out with the songs. They're not copyrighted.
Uh, that would be the bear buck.
That
That
was
gets
pretty
me
good.
every time.
You got him right in the eye. You're talking about him.
uh, you guys will be laughing your butts off looking at me walking in circles, talking to myself, trying to gun them.
No, because that's what I do.
Exactly.
Squirrel.
Uh,
I just did it the other. Was it yesterday? I I was doing something and I go around to go get a tool or something like that, and I start on something else. I come back and oh, I was working on that. So totally forgot.
I remember last year when Brian with Dust Devil's Garage was doing like those marathon lives where he's in their car welding the floor in. I
Hmm.
was expecting to see a scene like in that show Used Cars with Kurt Russell, the old mechanic in there. He walks into the shop and he sees him passed out under the car holding a torch, sleeping away.
Haven't done that yet. I said yeah. That's what happens when you get too much stuff on your mind. Buck, I know. Yeah. All right. Tea is done. I'm done.
And you get stuck on it and you know you can fix it and you know you can fix it and you know it's got to be simple and you can't get it out of your head until it get yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I went through today when I warped that roof, and everything I tried just made it worse. I was determined though. And of
I
course I
do
didn't.
have some stretch shrinkers, but God, I hate using them.
Yeah,
The
but you can't
waffle,
use. Yeah, oh, you mean the hand things? You
yeah, you
can't
got to
use them
ping
on
it,
the. You can't use them on the car, can you?
yeah. Then you bondo over it, you
Yeah.
body fill over it.
Well, I ain't worried about that. If I put a gallon of Bondo on that Cruda, it'll be uh, three gallons less than what was on it.
Yeah, there you go. My problem is though, I put a gallon on, and then I take a gallon off.
Yeah.
Then I got to put
Yes.
another gallon on, and I take another gallon off.
Hey, there's Max Wedge.
What's going on, Max Wedge? Dick Dastardly.
Yeah. Maybe the squirrels are aliens.
And I don't have the feel for it. I can't run my hand down and uh I'm not a
Yeah.
body man.
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, I'm okay. Um, but yeah, I would never be able to make a Barrett Jackson car. You know,
Oh, good heavens, no.
a good 20-footer. Yeah, we can do that.
I'm a storyteller.
But what, you know
Every
what?
dent and every rust hole tells a story, so I leave it there and let it tell its story.
Well, you know what? Another thing that happens while I keep, like you said, you put a gallon on, take a gallon off. Well, what happens is I put Bondo on and I take too much off, then I can put more
Yep.
on, and I take that down too far, and then I put more on, and instead of just letting it go, you know, because I've learned that um, the less I fiddle with it, the better it comes out.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't come out perfect, but it comes out, you know. And then another thing I think too is, well, with all those, like you said, dents or miss sanded Bondo, you know, I know that's my card, and you're not going to tell me any different because I can tell you where all the pieces are. I won't call them mistakes. I'll call them pieces.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's art.
Custom body lines.
Yeah, custom body line. And that's what killed me on the buck on the driver's side because the wheel well I should have just bought a repair panel and I didn't. So I took pieces of the one I had that was the good pieces that were left, and I put like 5 or 6 different pieces. And here they have different thicknesses of where it's been. I didn't know until I had it all welded together. I'm like, oh well, it's the way it's staying, and you can tell. I could cover it up with Bondo, but I didn't even bother. I just got it smoothed out, painted over. I could see it, but
Good to see you, Ron.
hey, Buck, New Media's racing starts Wednesday. Test and tune. Oh man, I'm working. Are you going down? Are you taking your car down, Max? That's only like an hour away from me.
No
I mean,
problem, man.
there's Mickey.
Slow, small black Ford.
I have a hard time saying that. Slow, slow, small bulk forward.
What's going on, man? That's like calling a big guy like the Undertaker tiny. One time I almost fed up and crushed myself with a load full of salt in the truck bed. I took apart the. Yeah.
Hydraulics. Penguin.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
I used to have one of those lockouts for hydraulic rams. Like when you're
Mhm.
working on a tractor, you lift the bucket all the way up. And they
Right.
make a store bought one that you can click in there and it holds the ram. I'll never use those again. I got chunks of angle iron that I stick up there and throw a bunch of band clamps on them. Or not band clamps, but big hose clamps on, hold it on there now. I had one of them pop off and it blew the other side out and that bucket came down. Holy cow. I didn't even bother washing them underwears. I just threw them away. Luckily, I was over by the bench when it happened, but that bucket came down. I felt the wind go right by my head, just
Oh,
bam, right behind me. And oh my good Lord. Of course, they were wore out, but those prop locks were wore out. But
it was this guy. He's throwing the party.
then again, everything Amelia Kai's got is all wore out. That's the logging company I used to do a lot of maintenance stuff for.
Boy, old Tiny there is subscribing to everybody. Wearing the brown pants that day.
I didn't start out the day with them, but I ended it with them.
Well, the Rescue and Restore got about 9 today. Not doing too bad there, Rescue. I'll put his link up again just in case somebody didn't get it.
Sweet. Where's he at again?
There's Rescue and Restored Garage link. Dawson Creek, British Columbia. Dawson Creek. Wasn't there a TV show or something? Dawson Creek.
Something like Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. We're 36 now. Wow.
Gotta go. Adjusting Max Wedge Valve Lash. Good to see you, though, Max.
All right, Max.
Good luck.
Maybe that might be on his own car. Because he was helping his buddy working on his car. I was just up to see him again a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I was supposed to have that running this whole time.
See, first responder? See? This guy over here.
I just noticed that too, huh? I know I set that up.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, what's going on, man?
Hey, Travis.
Yeah, I seen that. Old Landon tried the Carolina Reaper. Whew.
Well, I saw something that I saw the thumbnail said something about it should be illegal. I didn't get to click on it. But that's what happens. I get days off. I spend all my time in the garage. I don't. I just had like 15 or 18 comments I had to answer to.
Yeah,
That's
I
what,
got to get back on mine. And everybody who's watching, and I haven't responded to your comments. I've seen them, but I haven't hit the little heart or the thumbs up on them because if I do, then I'll lose them on the filter.
right.
So
Right.
I have read them and they're cool. I gotta have time now that I can go through and do it.
Well, I was just telling Turbo Tom last night. I reviewed his channel and I looked through and I saw he had like 43,000 views on that one thing and there was like 38 or some comments and I'm like, man, dude, you need to answer all those comments. I know that's what you told me a long time ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like I just had a guy today commenting on one of my videos, and we were chatting back and forth for a little while. I'm sure he subscribed, but I think it helps a lot. And
Yeah.
plus, when you do that, your comment count goes up. You know what I mean? Just
And
just
as
because
that
I
does
hit
that, it's YouTube will bounce it again.
right.
It's showing more engagement on your video. So
Right.
YouTube will keep pushing it out there.
And every now and then, you mentioned it a long time ago. I'll even on somebody else's video, I might comment on somebody else's comment. You know, hey, there's Travis.
What's up, guys? Uh,
What's going on, man? Happy 4th of
eh,
July.
yep, happy 4th of
For
July. See, what do I got? I got 13 days left before I'm 50.
Oh,
wow,
Lord.
I got 7 left till I'm 62.
12.
What'd she say? You act like 12.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's what my wife said, too.
Uh, I've
But
been
yes,
working.
hey, rescue and restored. Yes, definitely get a hold of us. We'll all trade stickers with you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You need
Yeah,
stickers.
just reach out. Most everybody has their
Yeah. Messes
uh,
of them here.
email on. They got their email on their about page.
Yep.
There's the old Buck does it.
You'd have to teach me how to do that landing because I hadn't seen that.
It does, but a lot of them don't fit.
Oh, it's a very generic.
Yeah. Sometimes it'll get a good one, but
Yeah. Well, there was one of my videos, the what was it? The carburetor stud removal video where you use the backing nuts.
uh-huh.
And a guy got on there. He says, "Why doesn't this have more views? Because it's got like 300 and some odd views. It's really not one of my big videos." And I was like, "Well, feel free to share it anywhere you want to. If you think it needs more views, go ahead and pimp it, because I could use the views. Trust me."
Happy birthday,
Ring
first
that
responder.
bell.
Yeah, happy birthday, first responder.
Yep.
45, huh?
Yeah, he didn't look a day over 29.
I would have guessed you were younger.
Yeah.
I was thinking mid 30s. Wow. Me, I was born old, so
Well, my mind still believes I'm in my 20s.
Yes.
My body thinks I'm in my 80s, though.
And I have to remind myself constantly, like, dude, you can't jump out of the back of the truck anymore.
Oh, it hurts.
I'll get hurt.
Oh no! The other day I was wiring on old red, because I put the HyperSpark ignition on it. And I was leaned over, bent over, and I straightened up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to sit on the heating pad tonight." My back was killing me.
Yeah.
what's bad is when you like a can of spray paint and you're trying to read the instructions on it
Oh.
and you got to hold it clear out here.
Greatest invention in the world for that.
I was just going to say that.
Take a picture and blow it up.
Okay, now I can see it.
Oh,
How do you think?
man.
How do you think I cooked for myself? I blow up the instruction.
Exactly. Oh, I got to get reading glasses. I can't believe it.
Well, I got the bifocal, so I'm already way too gone.
Yeah, I have readers. I have probably about 2,700 pair all over the place. I go to the Dollar Tree. They're only $1 a piece. Well, now they're $1.25. But
Yeah. Be
I'll
30
buy.
on July 13th. That's my daughter's birthday. My daughter will be 17. Day before
17, huh?
mine. Yeah. She growing up quick.
See, Jamie.
Bunch of youngsters, huh?
Yeah.
I've felt like that for probably the last 10 years since I turned 40. Everybody under 40 has been a youngster.
Well, I think I was 42 when my eyesight when I started noticing it was getting bad.
See, even Jason's younger than me. See, by like 10 days, 11 days.
On the 25th, huh?
He'd be a half a century.
Yep.
I just turned on April 2nd. I was almost a fool.
Well, I was 10 days late getting
Same day as
born.
Dallas Browns. What's that?
I was 10 days late being born. I didn't want to come out. My mom's due date was the 4th.
You didn't want to interrupt the barbecue.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Let's see, 9 months from now would have been. Math is hard.
Math is very hard.
It's 7.
November, October, November.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all car guys. Yeah, that's when the weather starts getting a little. Yeah, okay, I can see it.
Yeah. People trying to stay warm.
Halloween babies.
Yep. Halloween babies. See, like my kids, it's July, August, and September. Right. Well, I was going to say that Mia, my oldest, was early. So you can see where it was getting cold at around Christmas.
Damn kids.
Yep.
Really good friend of mine. He comes from a family. He's got like 13 brothers and sisters.
Oh, Lord.
And they're all in October and November. And they all sat down and thought about it. And well, Dad was out on the road all the time, but that was right when he'd come home. Oh, it makes sense now.
Yep.
What time we go? Oh, 8 o'clock already. Wow.
It's only
That's
7.
my story.
Yeah, it's 8 here. It's only 6 at BareRose.
Or is it 5?
No, I think it's
Are you
6
an hour or
his.
2 hours? BareRose.
He's an hour from you, 2 from me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 6 o'clock here.
That's
He's
right.
mountain time.
Heather keeps talking. She wants to come back up there and see you. She loved it up there. Told her we'll go in the wintertime.
Ooh.
Which that's what, from like September through like March, right?
Sometimes it quits in March. Sometimes not till June.
Did you all have a storm or something? I seen the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Did y'all have a big storm roll through?
Big, windy, dry thunderstorms.
Yeah, we had one.
Well, it
Been a couple
rained, but
weeks now.
not enough.
Yeah. Well, you know, Bruce, his garage caught on fire. Lightning
Who?
struck it 2 weeks ago.
Who did?
Bruce's Mopars.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
Buddy.
the thing is he went to Ohio for the week because he's got family up in Ohio. And he took his Hellcat up there. Well, the Warlock was parked in the garage when it caught on fire.
Oh,
So the Warlock's destroyed.
oh man.
that's a shame.
Yeah, he had it insured through Haggerty, so Haggerty's going to pay out on it. But he's got to
Yeah.
wait for the house insurance to get done and the contents adjuster, and then Haggerty can come out.
I got you.
So
Is he going to rebuild?
You just don't
no,
find out.
he wants another CUDA. He had a 68 CUDA, a tree fell on, so he's wanting to go ahead and buy another CUDA. So he's found one in New York, but I'm like, really? You want to drive all the way to New York to get one?
Mhm.
What's it look like?
It's
Exactly.
a nice looking car.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
yeah, and it's got a was it a 438, which is a stroke 383 automatic. It was an old drag car. It's got a roll cage in it and stuff. It's a good looking car. I'm like, dude, if you want something just to cruise, you might want to look for a small block manual car. Because I mean, if I had something a CUDA like that, an A body, I'd want a small block 4-speed car. I think I'd have a lot more fun out of it than a big block race car. You
Yeah,
know.
and the only thing with New York, you're in the Rust Belt, so
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's been taken care of. So,
yeah, it's possible that it was taken care of in good shape. But
well, if it was a race car, it may not have seen snow and nasty.
right,
You know.
Pretty good price on it.
20. So it's a real good price on it, I think. But that's what he's got. That's what he had the truck insured for. So he's figuring that Haggerty will pay that out. Evidently, they're pretty good. You know, you say, you know, no matter what it is, if I want to put a price on it, 200 grand. Well, if you want to pay the premium, they'll hold the policy. So
I think that's what we got ours set at.
yeah, I had 15 on red. I think I'm gonna bump it up now that I've got the new motor and everything in it. I think this next year I think I'll go up to 25 on red. Because that would probably
Just makes
cost.
the
That's
payment
probably what it
go up
cost me to
more.
replace it. Yeah, but it probably cost me that much to replace it right now. Everything I've done.
Especially with prices doing what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Try to build one now that you built 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the nice thing about Haggerty, like with me at least, I can work a bunch of overtime, and you pay the yearly premium on it once. You just pay it every year. You ain't got to pay it every month.
Yeah, that's a rare truck.
Yeah. It sucks it got burned up like that, but I think I got
Pretty
some
much
pictures
a
on
little
it.
Red Express painted black, isn't it?
Yeah, without the stacks.
Yeah.
I thought the
And
Warlock was 4-wheel drive.
well, the Warlock was, but the Warlock 2
Oh, okay.
is but it wasn't. There were so many weird things back in '79 because the Warlock 2, it was like the Little Red Express, but it didn't have the E58 motor in it. It was still a 360, but it didn't have the police motor in it. That was a little hopped up. It was just a regular 360, which was different heads and cam. That's all it really was. But now, if you can find a Midnight Express, that's the one you want to find.
What's the Midnight?
The Midnight Express was the same as the Little Red Express, but it also didn't have stacks, and it was 440 automatic, and they were all ordered.
Hey, Jack Stands.
But nobody wants to see me eat. My food just got here, so I'm going to jump off here, guys. I'll still be in the chat.
All right, Travis. See ya. Yeah, I'm going to jump
Later,
off
guys.
too. See
Barrow's going to
everybody.
be all by himself.
Oh,
All by
no.
I think
other
he can
people
handle it.
can come in.
I'll wind her down now, and Uncle Tony and Ari are going to start up later on tonight, so I think I'll wind her down.
Y'all have a good 4th, everybody. Take it easy.
See you, Travis. Have a good 4th.
Great seeing you, Travis.
See everybody in the chat. See you, BareRose. It's always good talking to you.
Great seeing you, man.
I'll see you again soon. And everybody
Happy
else.
4th. Keep counting them.
Don't
They're
forget to
still
look
there.
for the Buck Moon on Monday night. Bye.
Yeah, with that, I think we'll go ahead and close her up. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out. I apologize again for missing out last night, but we'll do it again. Next week, I'm going to be out of town, so I am going to miss this next week. But Brian's Dust Devil's Garage is picking it up, and make sure to go over and check him out. I'll do a bunch of promos for him, and so yeah, go check him out. He's got some really cool stuff planned for next Saturday while I'm out of town. And in the meantime, everybody, happy 4th of July, happy birthday, America, and keep counting them fingers. They're all still there. And get out there and get some metal hot. And we'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for coming.